It's DA Wrestling. It's AEW. It's Dynamite. It's Wednesday. It's Andrew. It's the cat. We're doing it together. We're doing some stuff. We're talking Dynamite. What happened on Dynamite right now? Right? Darby Allin and Hangman Page just have a brutal match. Right? Mercedes Moné introduces Camille and confirms her match with Britt Baker at All In. And Osprey and MJF keep that feud going. But if we're going to start off today, also, by the way, with Osprey and the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer. I haven't seen him in a while. I personally love Lance Archer. Excellent match. Excellent beginning of the match. Now, this match basically started off right away with Lance Archer just chokeslamming Osprey straight to bloody hell. Now, he comes out and he says the song "Everybody Dies." Now, I tell you, that song, I love that song. It is one of my favorite entrances. It's short, but it's it just really gets you going. But the match, like I said, started off with Lance Archer just basically dominating Osprey from the get-go with that choke slam right off the bat. It goes outside and he just keeps constantly brutalized Osprey the entire time on the outside. Eventually, Osprey does make a comeback here. It is the minimal effort because Lance Archer, every time he had a chance to do it, stopped him in his path. Some really big spots in this match, though, especially one with a attempted Spanish fly in the beginning. Well, the Spanish fly is just based on the floor, on the mats. Right. Osprey tried to do a lot of things in this match, but couldn't really get going. Eventually, though, he did get going, which helped out a lot. One of the cool spots, though, in the match, though, too, was when Lance Archer and he was trying to chokeslam Osprey from the top rope, which just turned into a reverse Spanish fly. Now, it landed kind of ugly, but it looked really cool anyway. Eventually, Osprey does win with the hidden blade. He tried it one time, though. He didn't get it because Archer turned around and just laid him out. Which was really interesting. Eventually, he does get that hidden blade, though, on him and ended up getting the win. Now, what's really interesting about this match, though, too, is they did mention the fact that Osprey and Lance Archer have both met each other several times in Japan, meeting actually 3 times, whereas Osprey holding the record of 2-1 over Lance Archer. Lance actually said in the middle of the camera, say, time to tie this thing up. It was a really good match, a lot of fun to open up. How this match came to be, though, was that MJF came out in the beginning of the show. Just insulted the hell out of South Carolina. Ripped the hell out of him, saying it's basically a trailer park trash of the U.S. Nobody really, he's really playing off the whole heel character as being a real piece of crap, which is MJF's MO, which is really fun, as always is. Which brought out Osprey anyway. And Osprey went right after MJF. Did not really care what he had to do to get to MJF, but he just went after him. Fortunately, MJF did get out of the ring. And Osprey just cuts a massive promo saying how much he's going to beat the living hell out of him. Talks about how it's a disgrace that he took the international title, threw in the garbage last week after the lineage it has had so far. But it's not a very old title, but the lineage of it, as far as AEW goes, is pretty good. You guys have had the guys like Pac hold that title. Orange Cassidy held it for an extremely long time. Jon Moxley, Roderick Strong, now Will Ospreay. So he talks about how it's had a very good lineage so far, and that MJF changed the title to the American title is just absolutely stupid. And that when they're in All In in England, and it's home field advantage for Ospreay, he's going to beat the hell out of him, and he's going to win and change that title back to the international title. MJF just shot at him, saying, "Listen, I don't give a damn. I'm going to beat the hell out of you for it. I'm going to win, and it's not going to do anything to do about it. But you get beat up tonight because everybody dies," which then brought out Lance Archer. So, but after the match, after Ospreay did win, MJF came in after the match and attacked Will Ospreay. Started attacking him. But what made it interesting was that Kyle Fletcher came running out to make the save. Started beating on MJF, just crapping on him, and cuts a very emotional promo after that. Says how I understand that he's not part of the Don Callis family anymore, because Don Callis did come out, was kind of looking at Kyle Fletcher like he was like some kind of demon for doing this. Kyle Fletcher basically said he's my best friend, and then turns his attention to MJF. MJF goes on, and MJF saying, you know, I may be from Australia, but this place in the U.S. has made my dreams come true. So he has the girl of his dreams, the car of his dreams, the house of his dreams, the life he wants to have. And it's all thanks to being in the U.S. It says that Osprey doesn't, that MJF doesn't deserve the things he is. He's just a piece of crap and a prick. And everybody's tired of the same games and crap that he plays all the time. Which basically brought MJF out to challenge him after that, saying, you want to talk about this? You want to do this? Next week on Dynamite, we're getting MJF versus Kyle Fletcher. And MJF says, if you thought what I did to you at All In a year ago was bad, I'm going to kangaroo kick the hell out of you this time. And they beat the hell out of your friend Osprey. You're going to be able to think you can do about it. You can blame Osprey for this after. So, looks like next week on AEW Dynamite, we are getting Kyle Fletcher versus MJF. Probably no title. And it's probably going to further on the story between MJF and Will Ospreay going into All In London. To be honest, I really like this feud so far. It's quite exciting to me. I find it very interesting. And I'm looking forward to All In for this match. I think I'm very hard pressed to think if it's going to be Will Ospreay that does win this match. I'm wondering if they're going to have MJF still keep that title and just continue on with going. Maybe to see what happens that day. Right now, I think money is probably on Will Ospreay to actually win that match, but we'll see what happens. After that, though, moving on, though, we got an event. Let's talk about that main event. Darby Allin versus Hangman Page. Just brutalized the hell out of each other. To the point where I think you need to start sitting down with Darby Allin and telling him maybe you need to stop doing some of the things you do, because there's no way to really protect yourself and you're going to end up hurting yourself. Because he ends up doing a battering ram, as he likes to do, through the ropes and just onto the floor, onto Page. And you can tell he basically hurt himself. There's one point, too, where the referee wasn't even counting a 10 count. He followed to the outside, and Darby Allin did a coffee drop off the top of the stage where the entrance is, where the guy's coming to the entrance, onto Hangman. You can tell he was visibly hurt or sore or whatever it is. But he keeps going. I mean, I understand it's part of his gimmick, but it's from the get-go. But you guys need to maybe watch himself a little bit. I think AEW does need to actually sit down and talk to this guy about it a little bit, saying, listen, man, you're probably going to kill yourself. If that's what you want to do, then just don't do it on our watch. But it's looking really bad at times when we see Darby Allin do what he does in this ring. But all in all, it was a brutal match. It was a lot of fun. We got a lot of This Is Awesome chants. The one point, though, it was kind of weird, though. The lights went out for about 20 seconds. You know what you're thinking. Oh, somebody came out. Nobody came out. It looks like it was just a technical difficulty. Match continues on out there. It gets to the outside of the floor. Darby Allin gets powerbombed 3 times onto the edge of the apron. Then Hangman Page always slams him into the steel steps. Like, just brutal. It's going to be, like I said, it just brutalized match. Hangman is really playing up this, I'm righteous and I'm doing this because I got screwed. He's just playing very angry character. I actually really like this Hangman character better than the other Hangman from before. To me, it points more to real life, I guess, like how frustrations can be, and sometimes being frustrated can actually, if you're facing somebody in an argument, get into a fight with somebody, and you already have a lot of frustration, it might kind of go that way. But yeah, but it was a really brutal match. Darby ends up winning with a roll up. It was great, a lot of fun. Looks to see what goes on. He's probably Darby Allin a lot for the next number of weeks. That he is going to be probably in at all. He's going to be in at All In. And he has a title match at Night of Champions. I'm sorry, not Night of Champions. Similar to Night of Champions at AEW. So he did do a lot. Hangman. They didn't mention anything about Hangman. It seems almost like they're going away from the Swerve thing, moving towards moving towards more Daniel Bryan. Speaking of that, though, Swerve and Daniel Bryan got kind of personal. Daniel Bryan comes out in the show and talks about his present time and his promises. He talks president as he's president for moments. Like before he came out tonight, You're going to hear all the yes chants. And speaking of which, speaking of the yes chants, Bryan actually has, or Bryan Danielson, sorry, has actually trademarked for those. Now, apparently they're not trademarked by the WWE, so we should see what happens with that. But he's trying to get that trademark, or at least you can use that trademark for stuff like this. Now, Bryan Danielson says, talks about, like I said, presence, how he's had his moments, how he was present for that moment with his wife Bree. He took the wedding pictures there. Then he talks about promises, how he's promised when he first got to AEW he was going to kick a lot of people's heads in, which he did. But he also promised he would probably win the AEW title, which has not happened. And I guess that's probably weighing on him a little bit. But he says these promises, though, at All In, he's going to go all in, give 101%, and he's going to give everybody a lot of moments to have fun and enjoy themselves at All In, which prompted him to bring out Swerve. Now, Swerve sat there and said, I basically promise you, not promise you, but he said that he respects Daniel Bryan, that he looks up to Daniel Bryan, but all the things you've said you want to do, you haven't really done, except for kick people's heads in. But as soon as you start kicking back, your body couldn't handle it. He also said, though, too, when Swerve came in, he goes, when I came in, I wanted to win the AEW title. He did that. He's held on to it ever since. Swerve basically said that he is going to hurt Bryan. He is going to make sure that this is probably his last match or whatever. And he is going to walk out AEW champion like he walks in as AEW champion. It says that's going to be over for him. Maybe he should just, after it's over, just go. Daniel Bryan makes a promise to him after that. And this is where it gets interesting. Bryan Danielson. I gotta stop saying that. Bryan Danielson basically puts his career on the line. Now, Bryan Danielson talks about how his contract's already up. It ends tomorrow. But he was willing to do part-time dates. He has told Swerve, and Swerve accepted, that this will be title versus career. Bryan Danielson has said that, and shook hands with Swerve, saying, I will never, ever wrestle again if I don't win the title. Swerve's response is, I accept this, no problem. But keep that promise. Don't promise me, promise your family. Make it a lot more personal than it probably should have been. This match is going to end probably with Bryan Danielson losing, unfortunately. But it'd be nice to see him win. I just don't see it's going to happen because I think they want to do stuff with Hangman and Swerve too. Plus, I think there's a little more options with Swerve to do right now over Bryan Danielson. But it'd be cool to see if Bryan Danielson does win. I mean, unless they're going to have a win, then he just relinquishes the title, then they do a tournament, which is possible they could do that, but it's probably not going to happen. I think Swerve's probably going to win this match, and Bryan's going to go out on his back, like he probably should, like the kind of way his tradition and all that stuff in wrestling. After this, we also get a lot more stuff going on tonight. We had Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale in a CMLL Women's Eliminator match. Now, much to my surprise, Statlander won, which is great. And she really started to heal it up at the end here. Because I was going to say earlier when I was watching the episode, I was watching it, I was writing stuff down, that I felt that the Statlander heel turn has not been very successful. I don't really buy in that she's a heel. At the end of this match, she took a chair and started beating the living hell out of Will Nightingale. Just laughing about it, smiling about it, enjoying herself about it. I find this is what they need to do with her a little bit more. Make it a little more brutal, make her a little more evil and dastardly. And I think she could do it. Like, I've liked Chris Statlander like when she came in. I didn't really like the whole alien stuff. I just thought it was kind of like corny. But I do like Statlander as a wrestler. I do like this more of a heel version. I just don't think it's been as successful as it probably should be. Hopefully, this is a turn of the tide here. I think
if you give Statlander that CMLL title, if they're willing to work that out like that, I think it'd be a good idea. I think maybe I could make her more functioning as a heel better, because she had to be more diabolical, trying to keep that title and keep it off of everybody else. And I can see Stokely Hathaway playing a huge part in that as well. So that to me would make a lot more sense. I think it'd be a lot of fun for her to be also be more of a heel, dastardly heel like that as well. I know like she feel like she's really enjoy herself as a dastardly heel. I think maybe this might actually do it. We got a really fun trios match though. Later on in the evening, it was with Roderick Strong, the Undisputed Kingdoms under Roderick Strong, with Roosh and the Beast Mortos. It's like a bull-like character. He's ever seen him. He was like a more like a bull, very angry-looking bull, like a bull from hell. Versus Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and who else was it? Oh, Tomohiro Ishii. Best parts about this match: Ishii basically going toe to toe with the bull. Orange Cassidy trying to play fighting a bull like in Spain against the Beast Morte. Then Roosh going on against 101, squaring off against Ishii was a lot of fun as well. So it was just a really fun match. Nothing really crazy. The interesting part of the match though is when the Beast Morto pins Mark Briscoe. So my guess is, since Mark Briscoe is the Ring of Honor World Champion and he just came off Death or Dishonor, keeping that title, then looks like they might go that way. They also did have a point though too where Mark Briscoe did square off with Roosh, the former Ring of Honor champion, and that might be possibly down the line too. So Mark Briscoe has a few people look like they're going to round up for him or to do matches with and possibly defend that title and see how long they want to do it with. I can see maybe Roosh maybe getting that title back at some point, but right now Mark Briscoe's having a good time with it. Looks like that's the way they want to go on Ring of Honor right now, and keep it on Briscoe. So this one, like seeing Ishii though against the Bull was a lot of fun. Like just hammer each other. And same with him and hammering Roosh. They just hammered the hell out of each other. It was a good time to see. We get to a point though too where we kind of slowed down a little bit, and we talk about Mariah May having an interview with Renee Paquette. Renee Paquette basically asks, "Why did you attack Toni Storm?" And Mariah couldn't figure out why. She was sitting all there casually with her feet up, saying, "Can I figure out why she's asking this question? Why? Why are you asking these things?" Well, she simply goes, "Look, I met Toni Storm. I love Toni Storm. I got really close with Toni Storm. And then I cut her, and what was the word she used? She was sliced her and wore her skin. Psycho. I like it. I love Mariah May. I'm really liking this character, Mariah May. I really am. I seem to have like things with psycho women on these shows. I might have problems. I probably do. Accept this. She asked Mariah May also asked her too, but why? What story did Toni Storm ever do to you? This Mariah May's response was nothing. Absolutely nothing. Just picked a target, and that's what she did. So the end of the interview after that, because Mariah was done talking, which brought out Toni Storm to the crowd, which the interview was done separately on a different location. Toni Storm comes out and she's gone straight psychopath as well. Like she's gone straight. It's gonna be a battle of the psychos at All In for this women's title. Because Toni Storm went absolutely psycho, saying, "I loved you too," and she starts beating herself with the shoe and say it's going to be going to war. Basically, they're going to war, and somebody's going to probably kill himself, get killed there. So it's going to be an absolute, massively train wreck of a match, but in a good way. I mean, absolute good way. And I'm still picking Mariah May to win this because I think Mariah May deserves that title. I think Toni Storm has done a phenomenal job here, and I think it's time for Toni to maybe sit back and just enjoy her work a little bit, and just sit back, probably go on vacation for a little bit. So I can see Mariah May definitely winning out All In no matter what. And I think that's probably the best course of action they can do here is that. But we'll see what happens. Next up, though, we got the debut, or say, I should say, re-debut of Camille. Now, Camille made her debut last week on AEW, coming up to help Mercedes Moné. This is more or less her AEW first match since she signed with AEW. And there wasn't really to it. She beat the hell out of a jobber just to show off who she is. Actually, calling her the Brick House Camille. After the match was over, which was very, very quick, probably about 3 minutes tops, Mercedes Moné cut a promo saying the EVPs have basically banned Britt Baker from the match, from the building, and that they confirmed that Britt Baker versus Mercedes Moné at All In has been confirmed. After there was a big spot they showed at Comic-Con at a questionnaire period. So they're having that match there. It wasn't much else to it. It's just posed the fact that she's a CEO. Camille's a new employee. And yeah, just pumped the match a little bit. That's all it was. Nothing insane. Nothing absolutely really worth talking about there. I'm not really a fan of this Mercedes Moné character right now, how the way she's doing it. It's to me, it's not like her character in NXT, Sasha Banks. I know it's a different version, but at least the one Sasha Banks, when she was a Sasha Banks in WWE and NXT, was a little more enjoyable, I thought, as a heel. This one I just find very, very annoying, like she's trying too hard instead of trying to be more natural at it. But we'll see what happens with it. I'm still early going in this. It's still early going in this. Debuting of Mercedes Moné. So we'll see what happens with it. To be honest, after that, it was pretty quick Dynamite tonight. We are getting next week Jeff Jarrett versus Daniel Bryan, because as Daniel Bryan was coming out after the whole confrontation with Swerve, he basically said you want Jarrett stops and hey, that's what I want to see. That's what we mean by going all in. And Bryan says, if you want to see me go all in, you can see it next week, and challenged him to a match right there. And Jeff was kind of just flabbergasted by it. So they haven't really confirmed it, but my guess is that's what you're getting next week on AEW Dynamite is Bryan Danielson, sorry. I have to keep on doing it. Keep on bloody doing it. Bryan Danielson versus Jeff Jarrett. I guess this is probably going to be a slaughter. I think Bryan Danielson is going to make a point, considering the fact that he probably didn't want to put his career up on there, even though it's probably been the plan the entire time. Other than that, they say we also got the Acclaimed facing FTR on Collision, they said. Max Caster about how he's the best wrestler in the world and all that crap, and it's just whatever. Let's see what else happened. There wasn't much else happened really at AEW tonight. It was all around. It was a really quick show. It was a lot of fun. A lot of good wrestling, a lot of good shows. So if that's the show you want to watch or you want to see, I suggest you go see it. I suggest you go and watch that trios match. It is a lot of fun. Go watch the brutality that is Hangman Page versus Darby Allin. Everybody basically other than that who was in Blood and Guts last week weren't really competing at all. The Young Bucks weren't even there this week. So, hey, it is what it is. It's a week after Blood and Guts. I expected a little bit more, though, to be honest with you, outside of after Blood and Guts was over. So the week after, I was looking forward to it. But you know what? Hey, there's probably a lot of things going on. They were in South Carolina. They were in Greenville. It was a good show. It was a lot of fun, a lot of patriotism, especially in the early going of the show, and a lot of brutality to end the show. All in all, it was a good show. Give it a kind of a halfway thumbs up, but maybe almost 3/4, actually. Yeah, I think that's about it, about 3/4 there. Anyway, guys, if you like the content here, make sure you like, share, subscribe down below. Hope you like this video. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Have yourself a wonderful day. Don't forget, predictions. Going on tomorrow. We're filming it tomorrow. Probably going up on Friday. Then we're going to be doing SmackDown as well. And probably SummerSlam review with Doug. The return of Doug. Probably on Sunday, my guess is. So, guys, thank you very much for all the support you guys have. We appreciate you guys, and I'll see you soon. Later.